everyone, and welcome again to Health Chat with NURSEVee. But before we start, please we want to sincerely apologize. Our event was scheduled for 11 a.m. and yes, we know that this is almost past 12. We're sorry for that technical glitch, but right now we've sorted it and we can now begin. So please, if you know anyone who tuned in before and due to the delay had to leave, please tell them that the live session has started. As we all know, my name is Veronica Mukore, and I am the founder of the Health Chat with NURSEVee platform, an insightful platform for discussion around women's health. So here we do everything women's health. If you've been struggling with information about your health, please quickly right now follow Health Chat with NURSEVee across all platforms because we discuss everything women's health. Today, on today's episode of Health Chat with NURSEVee, we want to commemorate the International Women's Day that was celebrated on the 8th of March 2026. And yes, we want to discuss the rights of women in this digital age. Are women truly advancing, or are we just embracing the idea of progress? And to join us on that discussion, we have two very important people here with us today. By my left, we have Mr. Daniel Ishaku. He is the founder of Toko Academy, a youth platform where he teaches students about tech. If you want to know anything about tech, please do well to follow Toko Academy and Mr. Daniel Ishaku's page. You're welcome on the show, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Alright, and by my right, we have the amazing Queen Vivian Ibrahim, founder of Chess in the IDP camps. It's beautiful to have you here.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Alright. Thank you so much again, everyone. Like I said, we are celebrating the International Women's Day. And we want to have this discussion. Are we truly progressing? Vivian, I know that you heard the story recently of some young girls that were molested in Delta State due to the rape festival, I think, or so.
Yeah, that's the nickname they've given.
That's what they called it. Oh, okay. So now that actually brought so much light to what we are talking about today. Are women really advancing? The idea of progress, we are saying, okay, yes, many women are speaking up today, true, and we have many women in the digital age, many women are outside. But is that our presence outside, that visibility, is it causing real growth behind the scenes, or we are just on the spotlight?
I would say both ways. Because if it's causing real growth, we won't be experiencing what just happened in Delta State. Was the day before yesterday evening? Because we've been shocked. A lot of people were shocked that something like this is still happening. Well, people from Delta State now came out and said, they were even naming them. They were like, it's not just this particular community. We have other communities that do stuff like that. Yes, and then the sad thing is when you have some people, some guys now defending it. You know, sometimes they said to fight something like this, you're not just going to have to fight men, but women as well.
True.
Because you have some women that are also defending stuff like this. They are like, it's our culture. They know it's our culture. They've sent, some are even sending screenshots of the messages that were sent to warn women not to go outside.
Imagine.
Yes, so they were like, they knew not to go outside. What were they looking for outside? I read something exactly like this.
Can you imagine? So now they are putting the blame on these young girls.
Yeah, some of them
going out. That you will see hundreds of men on one girl.
Yes.
That's sad. So now, you work in the IDP camp, yeah? And we know that these communities are communities where survival is topmost priority. How do girls begin to imagine leadership and opportunities from them?
Okay, like you mentioned, most of them are just wake up today, look for how to survive, what to eat, and then go out. That's just their dream.
Yeah.
They don't have the luxury of dreaming about advancing or building anything. So that's what I observed when we went to introduce chess to them. And then a lot of them are already being they came already improvised to only think about survival and stuff like this give birth to early marriage.
True.
Yeah, and then the girls feel like, okay, they don't have anything to aspire for aside from marriage, so that they'll be 100% dependent on the man, which is a disaster. Because I remember when I was to go to JSS1, the very day, it's a boarding school, LGS Bamba, I and my dad were standing outside our gates with my small box. So one of our neighbors now was passing, and she saw my dad. She was like, Vivian is going to school. My dad said, yes, which school? She said, Bamba. She was like, these children are girls, so why are you spending such money to take them to such a school? They are girls, it's not you. So you see why I say sometimes we have to also fight women, and it's not their fault. That's how they've been trained, and they have little exposure. Now imagine I didn't go to that school. That's why I learned how to play chess in that very school, and it has become a big part of my life.
Okay, so now, Mr. Daniel, give us a manly perspective of what Vivian has said. You know, when we talk about women and we have women just speaking out for women, it's not giving us that space for airing exactly how we feel well if we don't have men who understand what we are saying. So what do you think about Vivian's neighbor who was saying, why is her dad taking her to school when she's just a girl and not a boy?
Yeah, I think just like she rightly said, there are a lot of cultural expectations and norms that we grow up with. Already we live in a very patriarchal society, so it glorifies the man and then just subjects the woman. So for both the male gender or the female gender, we just think that, okay, the man is supposed to be higher and then the woman lesser or lower than the man. So I think that's where most of these perspectives come from. And it's really a big issue, but that's why I'm also glad that social media is doing a good job at amplifying women's voices around the world. And I think that there's a level of growth over the years in the understanding of people generally when it comes to the roles of men and women in the society.
Okay, so are you saying that we are really advancing, judging from what we just saw a few days ago from what happened in Delta State? Are we really advancing?
Wow, it's I would say yes, we are advancing, but not evenly. Okay. We're not advancing holistically. I feel like there's advancement in some areas or in some aspects, whereas some other aspects are still left behind. When you look at, again, the issue of cultural perspectives, there's a lot of people that hold on to it dearly. True. You know, they're not willing to give up their beliefs, their cultures, you know, and those practices. It is sad that in a time like this, we have people who are doing such atrocities. I mean, 21st century, you know, and it's going to rub off on not just that region but the whole country, like we were talking about
earlier. Vivian was saying that now people from the diaspora are now calling it Nigerians. Exactly. Because even though it is happening in just one corner, it is now a Nigerian thing. That's actually really sad. So like you said, we are advancing but not evenly. Okay, all right. So Vivian, what changes when girls are exposed to education, mentorship, or programs like chess and leadership training?
You know, it starts small.
Okay.
Yeah, baby steps. I always say that if you educate a girl, you're educating a family and a nation. Because she will be the one to always be with the kids let me just use this word, at home, raising the kids. So when we introduced chess to these kids, one of the moms, when we were to send off the kids to Delta State to represent Adama at the National Youth Games, she was like, my daughter, we've never known that there is such thing or existing. We thought it's just football. And then since our kids are not good at football, we didn't even know that there are other stuff to try. So you see, we are like giving them, showing them, okay, there are other alternatives. It's not just grow up in the camp, follow the normal survival pattern, or So there are other stuff. So she was like, thank you, because we didn't know. And now the kids now also, when they play and then they win, they start feeling okay. So I can actually become something. Their confidence starts building up. You now see them start like one of my students, Ruth. She has always been very shy, but now, oh my God,
very bold.
Yes, and she's one of the best female chess players that we have. So stuff like this, with mentorship, not just with people within the camp. There was this program that we had, we shared food. So one of the boys, I now noticed that he only had a drink. Well, I just had one spoon from my food. And I said, Lama, where's your food? He said he came late, so he didn't get it. So I was like, okay, get him another spoon, you can have mine, because I only took one spoon. And then one of the other boys, Ima was like, Lama, don't collect it too. So I said, why? That's it's a sign of weakness if a man is to eat from a food that a woman has already eaten. Wow. I said, what? I literally drew him close to me. I told him that he might not on my watch. Yeah. So you see, they need more exposure to know that all this Asian, because what is that? It doesn't even make sense. So when they begin to see, okay, Blama is one of the strongest chess players we have. So when they begin to see that, these are just like stereotypes, because cultural. Imagine someone growing up with that kind of mindset, now having girls and girl child. You won't be able to like fully impact the knowledge that how to raise her. You won't be able to do that. So baby steps.
All right, thank you so much everyone again for joining us on the show. Before we go on a short break, I also want to apologize. Yes, there were 3 guest speakers on our flyer board. Miss Hawa is unavoidably absent because she's out of the country. So please do well and stay tuned. We'll be going on a short break now, and when we return, we will be taking the conversation up from there. See you. We are back on the show. Welcome back from that short break. We'll be continuing our conversation from here. So, Mr. Daniel, Nigeria is actually ranked 124th out of 148 countries in the Global Gender Gap Index. Yet, many people believe women already have so many advantages. Do you think that is true in the context of Nigeria?
Wow, I don't think that is true. Okay. Yes, I think we see a lot of stories of women who are winning, women who are leading, but we don't see the backstories. We don't see the financial constraints. We don't see the limited access that they have to resources or training or knowledge. We don't see the cultural resistance again that they have to fight and go through every day. So, for example, before the break, Vivian was sharing about her students, that did very well in the competition. But now nobody hears about this backstory of her parents, what they did not know was possible. So I think that yes, there is news about women who are doing well, and the statistics is showing the truth that not every woman actually has equal opportunity out there, or is really doing as good as we think that they are. Yes.
Okay, so what do you think we can do to change that narrative?
I think we can do a lot. One of the ways we could help women is, again, just like Vivian is doing, create avenues for them to learn a skill. because we have a lot of access right now. I think over the years, a lot of movements have been about giving women access to opportunities. But then access is not the same thing as opportunity. Because I have a smartphone doesn't mean I can make money from it. Even getting a chess board doesn't mean I can do well. So people need mentorship. People need to be mentored. Like women need to be mentored. They need to be trained. They need to have access to affordable programs or training programs where they could learn digital skills, for example, and that skill that can be translated into income for them.
That was what I was going to ask you. So yes, you are the founder of Toko Academy. What is the ratio of men to women that you have? Do you think women are actually aware that there is that possibility that they too can learn test skills? And do you think they are participating well, or do you think we should tell women more about stuff like that?
We have a fairly low ratio of women enrolling for our courses than we have for the men. And I think, yes, women need to be informed, or we need to create more awareness for women to participate in such skills. I'll give an example of Stephanie. Stephanie, who came as an intern for about 6 months with us. When she came, she was very shy and had a lot of issues with speaking in public with people. But 6 months later, she's a bully now. She's actually a bully right now. So I feel like over the years, what I've seen in Toko Academy, for example, is how a lot of girls or children, women, come into our space, and you will know that there's been a lot of resistance, from family, even in terms of sponsorship. We've seen parents willing to sponsor the male child and not the female child. So I think that's one challenge that is very evident from my perspective of Toko Academy.
So you see that one thing is common among what both of you said is that when a woman is empowered, she automatically gains her voice, right?
Yes.
If she was timid, she was shy, she was this and all of that, but immediately she begins to emerge and evolve in a particular area of life, it looks like her lost voice, she suddenly regains it. So Vivian, from the IDP camp, do you have any story to share with us of any young girl whose life has been transformed through the chessboard game?
Actually, I have a lot.
I know just one.
But the popular one that a lot of people already know is our girl Mary Victor that went to US, played chess.
From IDP camp to US.
Yes.
That's powerful.
When the opportunity came, the dad was skeptical. He was like, it's because to him it's even impossible. But I told him, okay, this is what happened. Your girl is going to US, and we started processing the passport, the visa. When we were to go for the first visa interview, they accompanied her to the airport as well. So you were like, we never knew that anybody
from
the
their
family
lineage
was step foot in the airport. Not to talk of US.
Wow.
So she went there, and then she represented us well, and then won a silver medal. So
she even won.
Yeah,
she did not just attend, she won.
And then imagine a girl from IDP camp, not just winning a medal, but meeting with the Deputy UN Secretary General, meeting the Mayor of Georgia, and a lot of high-ranking people over there from IDP camp, speaking at the United Nations headquarters in New York. So it's it has opened the eyes of a lot of the kids, not just girls at the camp. I saw other camps like doing programs. There was this camp, I can't remember which state, but they held Mary's picture like this on a banner, and they were talking to the kids about it. They posted it on Instagram. They are like, okay, if she can do something like this,
then
we can too. And that has been the belief at the camp. Now, during our classes, the goal is go to US or National Youth Games.
Wow!
Every year we go to National Youth Games. So everybody, we are going to Lagos. This is Lagos. Now, everybody Lagos. So everybody's putting in their best. one of the there was a time that they were to go to Delta, and then one of the moms said, so you are taking our kids to Birni.
Especially if they've not crossed
They've
the
never,
border.
most of, not just from the village to the camp, the highest is, they call the market here jump block because of the red bricks.
Wow.
So it's just jump block from the camp to jump block. That's it. But now they've seen that they can actually become more. You know, one of the kids, Timothy, was talking to me the other day. It was like they were farming because they usually go to people's farm to work for 1,500 naira per day. So he was like, they were talking about chess, and a nearby farmer, that was when I introduced chess to them newly, saying, are you guys interested in chess? I also played chess before and I won medals. To them they were like, you won medal, you like this, that is farming here. So they came and told me about it, and they were like, and the way that he was talking about medal, because they didn't even know what the medal is, but they just knew that it's something precious, the way that the man was talking about. So I was like, okay, we'll do a tournament. That was how we did our first tournament, and I brought out one medal, and it was that same Timothy that won. So since then, it's a bragging right. See, I don't know if you observed during the school's chess tournament, you know, the kids that were sponsoring in school, because chess has gotten them back to school. Even Mary too, you know, she's now on scholarship at the AUN Academy. Yeah. So they were, one of them were like, they didn't behave as if they know each other. I was even surprised. You know, they're in different schools. So the other guy, they were playing like amongst themselves. Timothy and Blama were playing, and then Florence, she's in Blama's school, so she now stood down. She was like, Blama, well done. Timothy raised this and he said, Auntie, they are talking. I'm not going to, why would she talk to him? Because he knows
just well done.
Wow. And he knew that it's just well done. No? Because Blama is his competitor, because they are the two like strongest. So Timothy wins by all means. Wow. So this is something that he also discovered because of chess. It was like, Auntie, you will swear that they are not friends. They didn't know each other.
But that's
after the game, exactly. After the game, they were one big family.
That's beautiful. So, sir, from your end in the digital space, will you say that there are practical changes that will help women enter and thrive in tech and digital careers? If so, please let us know about it.
Okay, if I get your question well, practical
changes.
Okay, that women can make. Well, there are a lot. And from my perspective, I think in the digital space, there are numerous opportunities for women to thrive. In Toko Academy, for example, we have various courses, and we see how women do very well. Right now, one of our strongest Python language instructor is Sunshine. And this is someone that comes from a medical background. She did health education in university. And today she's teaching Python for data analysis. And doing
Please, what again? What's that? Have you heard that before?
Python.
Python is a programming language.
Only test skill I know about is content creation. So you see,
wow.
so you see that we actually need advancement.
Yes, a lot of advancement.
Okay, yeah, continue.
Yeah, so I think that for women, when they're given the opportunity, they really do well. They really thrive. Another person I can talk about is Happiness, who is a ED right now of 10 to school. And actually, Happiness was my first student in Yola. I remember we met at one CDS, NYC CDS program, some youth skill day, where I was called to speak. And after I spoke, she ran to me and said she wants to learn graphic design. I'm like, okay, great.
Graphics design?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, for like the next 3 years after our class, all the flyers they had to do, both for my Toko Academy, for 10 to school, was designed by Happiness.
Wow.
You know, so women really do very, very well. They excel very excellently when given the chance to. So I feel the first step is to really create a platform for women to first of all get to know that there are opportunities, there are things that they can do. And when they see role models like Sunshine or Happiness and Vivian, yourself, I feel it encourages the younger ones to think of themselves as, I can also be the next Vivian, I can also be the next Veronica, and there's a space for me, you know, at the table. So I think it starts with that, and then next is now to give them the real practical training. I don't believe in just learning on YouTube or an online course, because many of us don't have the discipline to learn. You know, even in school, we go to school, you know, and we still struggle.
Lazy to read soft copy materials.
Yeah, so let alone, you know, somebody teaching you on YouTube who is in another country, or maybe have accent issues. You know, people never understand the accent. So I believe in project-based learning, where you actually get to build a real-time project, a real-life project, and you work with somebody who has walked the path already. They hold your hands and you see for yourself how you are solving people's problems. So I think when people begin to see that often, it becomes easier for them to embrace that path and also open their minds.
And not just that, have you ever been in the situation where you thought you knew something because you heard it from someone over time, and then you are giving a practical you will now notice that, oh my god, all of that is actually in my head. So I think women should go beyond the thinking of, oh, it's just my phone, I can use it and learn at home. So actually taking practical steps. So please, you can do well for yourself by enrolling into Toko academic courses. I think they have different courses. For me, I think I'll go and learn Python. I don't know what that is, but I think I'm going to learn that so that we women also can try. The children. So if you don't know anything about your health, you obviously will always be running helter-skelter when you just see something happening to your daughter. And I always tell them that men should also get involved in conversations around women's health. I give you an example. Okay, so a girl whose mom is late, for example, has only her dad. The dad is not yet remarried or something, and this child starts menstruating, and as a man, you don't know anything about menstruation. What do you think will happen to that child? And the thing is, the internet is crazy. Any information you are looking for, you will find it on the internet. Now, these informations are unfiltered. So both the good, the bad, the child is exposed to. That's why we should actually work on educating everybody. Educate the female child, educate the male child, so that in case of tomorrow, whichever is available at the moment, for the sake of the next generation, will be able to take care of the children. So Mr. Daniel, what do you think? Why do some people believe that women are already equal? So when we are talking now, we say, here we have women that are doing this, doing that. They will give you practical examples that women are already equal when the data is showing otherwise.
I think one of the biggest reasons is visibility. Social media has glorified certain stories, and now it looks like that stories covers for the rest of the people. So if I am looking for a woman, right, a woman's story who has proven to be successful and all of that, I will always find one or two on the internet. And so I think people believe that women are already equal or are experiencing equality because of the few stories. But the few stories we see on the internet is not enough, you know, comparing to the number of men that have, you know, success or victory in those areas. So I think the biggest reason is because of social media visibility, and visibility is not the same thing as equality. So when I talk about something, or when you see something often on social media or on TV or on the news, it doesn't mean that it has gone everywhere. You know, there's also the difference of urban area and rural area. So a girl child in an urban area will go to a better school with better access to certain things that somebody in the rural area may never even see in their entire life. So it cannot be equality in that sense. So there's still, in fact, World Bank and UNESCO states that in entry-level jobs, a lot of women come to only about 50%, whereas for men it's 75%. And then in C-suite roles or in top-level positions, we have less than 30% of women in those kinds of roles. So that shows that although there is some progress of women getting equality and all of that, we're not there yet. We are still way behind. There's a lot of work that needs to be done, yes, to help women get access to knowledge, to education, to empower them, and so on and so forth.
You can even go to some private sectors and you hear that when you are a woman, you can't go beyond a certain level. So they can promote a man to reach the highest peak of his career, but then the woman cannot get to that place. Okay, maybe let's take questions from our audience. If there's anybody who has any questions to ask me or our guest, please do so now. We are taking questions now. We've been having a beautiful conversation discussing if women are truly advancing or we are just celebrating the idea of progress. Now, Mr. Daniel, please, do you think that the government has a role to play in any of this, truly helping women advance, especially with what happened to the female senator the other time? Do you think that there's anything that the government can do to actually empower and encourage more women to speak up? You know, even during that time, like what Vivian said, the problem is not just men fighting women, it is that some women are also fighting women. So if you see one woman speak up, you now see where other women are fighting her for even speaking up. So do you think there's anything the government can do to help more women, to encourage them to speak up?
I think there's a lot that the government can do. One of the major roles of the government for any country is policy. So I think if we have policies that encourage equality, that encourage women, it will go a long way. For example, there are certain types of opportunities that are only for men. Just like you were saying earlier, even in the government, you know, there are certain places, certain offices, or certain jobs that they will tell you clearly this is for men. You know, so I feel like it begins by restructuring our house. The government should set policies that allows equal access for all. When we have policies that are favorable to both genders, then we are now at least on the journey of making our country a better place for women to also thrive. I think it goes a long way. With what happened with the senator, there has been a lot of controversies around this. Some said she did wrong and what have you. So I just feel like first, that exposure is not even there for some of the people that are there. Whatever the case might be, I feel there could have been a better way to handle that situation than the way it was done.
I think if he was a man, they would have treated it in a manly way. But because it is a woman, he was okay, she's just a woman. So what's the role of the media in also advancing women and helping women talk? I'm not talking the women who are speaking out now. I'm talking the media bringing out like what happened day before yesterday. Like if before now we never knew that such a thing like still exists in this 21st century. So what roles do you think the media can actually play in helping women advance?
I think the media can play the role of creating more awareness about this thing, but also debunking these myths that are spreading everywhere. Some of these events happen because of biases and stereotypes. So I think the media has the task of doing proper research and giving a balanced news to the masses. Because if the journalist or the editor or the media house is biased in a particular way, they'll be selling that same bias. So as many that are consuming their data will just ingest the same bias and reproduce the same thing. And so we are stuck in that same cycle. So I think the burden of responsibility is on those who are in the media to really do proper research and ensure that what they give out is balanced and there are no stereotypes or biases in the kind of news or content that we share.
What you just said now made me realize that I love the idea of social media right now. Because if it wasn't for social media, if we were relying on our media houses to bring out what happened in first, we would have been more shocked. But social media now gives everybody leverage. So it's just when something is happening in your corner, you just speak up.
There's a joke I saw the other day on Twitter. So something happened, and then with most of the current news you get it on Twitter, and then someone has said, you pity people that are not on Twitter because some of them are now waiting 2 or 3 days later on the news, on the local news.
And the local news will filter the information and give us what they think is right for
or
us.
what is paid for.
Exactly.
Or what the government wants to censor.
So, but you know, with social media, I love that the information was raw. As it was happening, everybody was. And today, people are now taking steps. I think that some government agencies,
there are over 500 women groups,
are already speaking up. And I think that by next year, such a thing will not repeat again in that community.
And there's some that has been happening that we are not aware of will also be crushed.
Exactly. Because right now with what is happening, people start digging out what is happening in different places, and that way I think we'll be able to attend to such issues. I must say one thing. Today's conversation has been quite insightful and impactful. One thing is majorly clear and spoken of in this place. It is that progress is not just about being online. Progress is not just about what we see, trends online, followers, and people who just come on social media to make noise. True progress is that every woman should be heard, valued, protected, and empowered. What are your final words, Mr. Daniel?
I think I'll just lean into what you have just said. I think it would be not just to be online. That's not empowerment. Empowerment is when a woman can truly be heard and can truly be valued and also protected.
All right, thank you so much. Vivian, what are your final words?
For people to not be dismissive. You know, most times when a woman is talking, they'll be like, "Hi, now my Chini is just a woman," like they don't take it seriously. And sometimes what she's saying might actually save your life, you won't know. So if we stop that and start listening, it will go a long way.
Yeah, thank you so much. Let's remember, this is Health Chat with NURSEVee, a platform where we bring every conversation that concerns women, and especially their health. And on today's conversations, we have had, I think, a very long 1 hour plus conversation talking about if women are truly advancing or we are just embracing the idea of progress. Okay, before we go, this is Mr. Daniel, the founder of Toko Academy. Do well to follow them across all social media handles and enroll your child for digital training skills. Remember, I said I will be enrolling to learn Python skills. And this is Vivian Ibrahim, the founder of Chess in the IDP camps. You can also do well to follow them across all their social media handles. And I remain NURSEVee, the founder of Health Chat with NURSEVee. Follow us for more insightful discussions around women's health. We debunk myths, we teach women about their health, and we empower them with the right knowledge about their health. And this was to commemorate the International Women's Day. So from all of us, happy International Women's Day. Thank you.